Hey guys, what is up? Nathan here from the Star Wars Collective, and welcome to another Star Wars Battlefront 2 video. Today, I'm going to be discussing who I think EA should release as a new hero within the game. Now, to start things off, we're going to start things off with a relatively easy and simple one that I think should already be in the game, and that is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Now, it has been leaked that he's in the upcoming DLC alongside General Grievous, which I hope to be the case because that would be awesome, but I do think the heroes lack a Jedi or a lightsaber character at least that really has some good abilities and one that can rival the villains in a really strong way. Like, you've got Darth Vader, you've got Kylo Ren, and you've got Darth Maul, but to really compete with that, you've currently got Luke and Yoda and Rey, of course, but I just don't think that the heroes are quite as good as the villains in the lightsaber aspects, so I do look forward to Obi-Wan coming in, and I'm not really too sure which abilities they would attribute with Obi-Wan, but I'm sure it would be different ones from the ones that they currently have. A force push, I think, though, would make sense, especially seeing as he did force push General Grievous within the third Star Wars film. Now, the next one I think, which should also definitely be in the game, who kind of is already in the game, is Anakin Skywalker. Of course, Darth Vader is a villain within the game, so Anakin would be a hero as he was for 2.5 films, 1, 2, and half of 3. Now, I'm not too sure which abilities he might have as well, but I think he would be a very good character. I think he would base along the lines of a lightsaber character, one who definitely hits and moves a lot quicker than a lot of other characters, and I think he would be definitely a welcome addition. Now, someone I talked about just before, General Grievous, who was leaked apparently to be coming out with Obi-Wan Kenobi, he'd be an awesome character to bring in the game, certainly add a little bit of depth to the villain's side, and I speculate will have some form of four-armed special move like he did in the original Battlefront 2, which I think would make him an awesome character to use, and also an awesome character to look at. Now, I've talked about two heroes coming into the game. I think another villain that we could introduce into the game is Count Dooku. Now, he was obviously featured mainly in the second Star Wars and in the third one a little bit before Anakin took him out. So maybe Count Dooku and Anakin come out together, but I think Dooku would be an awesome character to bring into the game, someone who would be awesome to use. I think you definitely want to use Force Lightning with him. I think that definitely has to be one of his abilities. And other than that, I'm really not too sure what they might bring out with him, but I think he would be awesome to use as well. Now, the next one I think should be in the game is definitely Jango Fett. Now, we do have Boba Fett, but I think Jango Fett could bring out a little bit of differences to Jango Fett. Of course, there would be 2 flying characters on the villains and none on the heroes, but if you look at Star Wars Battlefront 2 2005, he did have some pretty interesting abilities, one of which was his time bomb, and I think another one that Jango Fett could have is also his double pistols, which was shown in Attack of the Clones. I think that would be awesome, being able to fly up in the air and shoot the double pistols like he did against Mace Windu, who, as a matter of fact, is the next hero that I think should be within Star Wars Battlefront 2. I think Mace Windu is definitely someone who is a big character. He's definitely very important as one of the leaders of the Jedi Council within all Star Wars, mainly number 2 and 3. I think he would be an interesting character to bring into the game, especially seeing as he did duel Palpatine and does show quite a bit of power within the Star Wars films. As to abilities, I'm really not too sure what abilities they might bring in with him, but he isn't exactly the most light side Jedi, so maybe there'll be some more attacking movements with Mace Windu, or something a little dark side, but obviously he is a Jedi, so it won't be too dark side. But it'll be interesting to see what they end up doing if they do bring him in. Now, I have 2 that I think are unlikely that they'll bring in, simply because I can't think of anyone that they'd bring in with them, plus they can't go too far into the prequels. Like, they'd bring out, I've already named 6 that I think they could and should bring out, and I don't really think they're going to go 8 or beyond. And the first one of that is Qui-Gon Jinn. Now, we don't see him fight too much. Of course, we see him die at the hands of Darth Maul, so I'm not really too sure what abilities they'll bring out with him, but I think he is a pretty strong character. Now, who doesn't want to have Liam Neeson, of course, within the game to use and fight, and all of his quotes that he might come out with. But another one that we could have, as another unlikely one, is Ahsoka Tano. Now, she is a difficult one because she's not really a hero in the fact that she is a grey Jedi, as seen in Rebels and Clone Wars. But I think because she does help in Rebels, she does help Ezra Bridger and everyone like that with their missions. I think she would be a hero, and she does have some pretty decent abilities, I think, especially with her one lightsaber in each hand. I think that could make for a very interesting character, one that maybe might not be able to block, or if she does block, she'd bring the lightsabers together, but one that would make some awesome moves to take out the enemies with. Now, the last one that I'm going to say is someone that definitely won't be in the game at least, but I think would be awesome if they did bring in the game, and that is Supreme Leader Snoke. Now, of course, it'd be difficult to decide what abilities that he would have, and it would also be difficult to work out a way of him being not completely useless, seeing as in the film he's shown to walk pretty slowly. He is old, a bit disfigured, so it'd be difficult to decide what abilities to give him, but I think the way he was toying around with Rey would certainly suggest that he'd have a force ability that would push everyone around and make him a lot stronger than Palpatine, I'd say, just because he can move a lot slower, and also a Force Lightning ability. As you can see within The Last Jedi, he does use Force Lightning on Kylo, but it's a sort of Force Lightning that hits the ground and then hits Kylo. So maybe it's a sort of Force Lightning where it has to deflect off an object to hit, and that would be an interesting ability for him to have. As for a main attack, as most heroes have, Palpatine has his lightning, and gun characters have a gun, and lightsaber characters have their lightsaber. I'm really not too sure what Snoke's main attack would be, which is one reason why I'm a little hesitant as to Snoke being in the game, but I do think it would be cool, and there are certainly some characters they could bring out to rival him. And now, this isn't really a new character that they should bring in, but this is definitely something that I want changed about one character, and one thing that I do want to see is also in Battlefront 2, the original game, is Palpatine with a lightsaber. I think if you were to bring out Mace Windu, I think it would be awesome to have the ability to use Palpatine with a lightsaber, maybe decrease the force abilities that he has, but still be able to do the twirl with the lightsaber, and maybe bring him out the skin that he had in Revenge of the Sith. And I think that would be amazing to be able to use Palpatine with a lightsaber, as well as a bit of Force Lightning. You could easily recreate the Yoda fight, as well as a fight with Mace Windu, and all up, make Palpatine, who already is actually a very good character, make him even better, or maybe obviously dial back the Force abilities, and obviously add the lightsaber, and add a lightsaber ability. So one of his abilities would be to use that twirl, so it'd be like similar to Rey's, where she runs with the lightsaber and aims it at people, similar to that except the twirl. But that is the end of the video. Hopefully you enjoyed and you agree with who I think could and should be added into this game. Please leave it a like and subscribe for more daily Star Wars Battlefront 2 content.